talking, and maybe you're going there anyways, but it's so funny how people throw their opinion out, right? And which is totally fine. But when people say, well, you'd be crazy not to go to college. Like this is before the OHL thing or the CHL was allowed to go. It's like, well, why is that? Like, well, because you get you get an education and your hockey. It's like, well, I've seen guys that work for me that have education from certain schools, like one that had marketing, and he played 4 years at this college, and he got his marketing degree. So I said, oh, that'd be great. So I asked him for some, like, hey, with marketing, what do you think I should do? He goes, oh, what do you mean you don't know? You took it. He goes, well, yeah, but like it didn't, I don't know. It's like, okay, so that's not, for a lot of guys, it's not education. So like, whatever. And what if you just don't like school? And that's the problem I'm having right now. There's a lot of players, like there's a couple of Charlie's team that are going to school, already got their commitments. I think whatever, there's 3 maybe. And a lot of guys that are going to school after the OHL. And good. And it's a really, really good plan. Like really, like if you could have a like what'll happen to most players that are good OHL players that are like, even say they play in the NHL, there is a good possibility, or probably a high percentage, that they'll finish their OHL career and have 2, 3, and maybe 4 years at a college, where it's good development, right? You're playing like up to 25 years old, right, roughly. And it's good, and you're in the gym, and you're getting in shape, and you're learning, and you're developing, and all that kind of stuff, and it's good. And if you're ever going to be a pro, it's probably a really good time to break into be a true pro at 23, 24, 25. It's a really good plan. And I wish I could say that for everybody. That's just do it. Just do it. But do you know, like, there's so many guys, like Charlie plays with a couple. He's one of them. But you say the word school. Like, that was me. You say the word school, not learn, not get better, not educate, not stuff like that. Go to school, play for a school, attend school, go to a class. My skin freaking crawls for me. And for many people. And most hockey players that are hockey players, it's changed over the years a little bit. There's more college players, but a lot of these hockey players want to be hockey players. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Got a guy on Charlie's team that's good hockey player. Hates school. He'll never go to school. He might take a trade. Not might. He probably will get a trade when everything's said and done. What, is there something wrong with that? It's actually might be a better plan. He wants to play hockey.
So and sorry,
he wants to be a hockey player.
Take a trade as in a trade work.
Yeah, like
get traded to another
plumber,
team. Yeah,
welder.
Right. Yeah.
So like, like he knows that his design in his brain, kind of like the way I would have been, would be like but I don't want to learn. I don't want to go to school for that, because I have zero interest in it. Like, I don't want to be an accountant. I could take the education, but like, I don't want to. I'm not a student. I'm not a guy that goes to school and studies and wears khakis, and goes to pep rallies. I just not that guy, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's people that are. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing at all, obviously, but for me, it's like, ugh. So I would want to play hockey. So I would want to, even though like everyone would say, well, go to school. It's like, that will affect my hockey. If I was playing right now, that would affect my hockey. It would affect my hockey, because I don't want to go to that and study hall, have someone do my homework. I don't care. I don't want anything to do with it. I know that sounds ridiculous to some people, but there's going to be a lot of people who say, yeah, same with me. I wanted to be a plumber. I didn't want to go to school. And I feel, if I'm not going to be a doctor, if I'm not going to be a lawyer, if I'm not going to do something really specific, an engineer like yourself with a kind of a plan, then I'm probably, if I'm not a hockey player, getting a trade or having a business, whatever, might be a better alternative anyways. So it's always been put down your throat that you need an education to succeed, which is not true. You have to educate yourself, though, in some way. But anyways, my point is that not everybody, like, the college opening up is great. It's freaking awesome. And if my son chooses to do that before he moves on, I'd be happy for him. But he doesn't want to play 30 games. He wants to play 70. Or and several guys are like that, right? I want to play hockey. I want to be a hockey player. I want to. Someone texted me the other day. So, well, like if email a very smart person and his brother's in the industry. Okay, yeah. So he goes, talked about my kid, this, that, and the other thing. He goes, if whatever happens this year, because the worst thing that can happen is go to school for 3 years, 4 years, and then he'll be, be a pro at 24 years old. And I said, yeah. So we'll see. So he's like, he's smart, right? He goes, well, what do you mean? I go, you know. So he said, yeah, but Andy, like, would a kid rather play? So his argument is, would you rather play for a college where you fly everywhere, or you want to ride the buses? You know what hockey players want to do? They'll ride the bus. I don't mind. Like, that's what I want to do. Like, for some people, their dream is to be a hockey player, not to go to school. And other players see there's some guys that can just say, okay, I'm going to go to college because that might be the best path for some reason. Sometimes I go, it's a great thing for some people, but then at other times I go, but you're only playing 30 games. You're in the gym more, but you're only playing 30 games. You're practicing more. Like, flip a coin, right? Flip a coin. But some guys. So, anyways, I'll finish with this. But if you can see that and you're logical, and you could just say, okay, so the next 2 years I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go to Cornell University, whatever it is. And after 2 years, I'm going to go play in the American League or something like that. Then it's a good logical step. And if you can embrace it and love it, it's awesome. Like, it's awesome. But it's so different than the junior OHL experience, in my opinion.
On the flip side,
and I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, there's so many people that it's awesome for some, and it's like for some people, it's like, I don't want to.
Yeah. And so, like, on the flip side,
flip it.
On the flip side, for me, because I'm the total opposite of you, I'm like all about the school path all day, because that it resonated with, in the same way it doesn't resonate with you, it resonates fully with me. I love the schedule, I love the lifestyle, I love you get up, you train, you go to class, you practice, and then you go to sleep, and then you get up and you do it again and you do it again. And even though, it's 30 games, it doesn't feel like 30 games. It feels like a lot more games, which is interesting. But I also think, like, understanding the schedule of what the athletes actually go through. Like, we were at Bowling Green, for example, several weeks back, and they were saying how they're at the rink until like 12 in the morning. So they're like, go work out, skate. They go to class until 4. And then they go back to the rink at night to practice or whatever, or they're done for the day, depending on what they're doing. So I think the schedule is like a little bit more hockey than it seems.
Yep.
And then
yeah, for sure.
And then with all the travel and the perks of that the schools have, I think it feels, we were talking about this a little bit last week, it feels a little bit more professional. I think just because of the funding, like, they have all these people on staff and they have all these, so to your point, like, there's a plus or minus kind of thing. And then for me, because I was someone that went through a professional program and got a degree that's actually useful, because I do think a lot of school is nonsense. And, like, I don't, even through engineering, the benefit was when you actually got to go work anyways. It wasn't from just doing the degree. Like, I learned the most when I actually went and worked on things, not just being in class.
Like you're saying, like, not a co-op, but
a co-op, a placement, an internship.
An internship.
Actually seeing how things happen in real life. Yeah. That's when most of the learning actually happens. But it was cool to acquire knowledge through classes and stuff like that in a professional program. But I do think there's a lot of waste at universities as well. Like, a lot of kids go there, especially if they're going for sports, they go there for their sport and they do whatever to get their school done, but they don't actually care. And it's not actually that important to them. So I think a lot of it is a little bit of smoke and mirrors on that kind of thing. But I see the value of doing it if you're going to go there, to your point, with a plan. And I don't judge anybody that doesn't want to do that, or that doesn't resonate with in any way, because there's so many people that I know that are either dropouts or did a trade or started a business of some sort, did something else, real estate, however you want to cut it. It's like they are doing really well. Some of the smartest people I know, and they never studied from a book once. And so I think on the hockey side, though, maybe like my final point, I was saying this to you the other day, is the last kind of like bullet in the gun for me is most of the NHL players are either almost coming out of college or going to be. It's trending that most of the NHL players are going to be coming out of college. So in the same way, like from, the junior conversation we we're having of trying to get to the OHL or the CHL because that's most likely to send you off to college or get you an NCAA commitment. Going to college is going to turn into the most likely path to get you to the NHL.
It's like a new stepping stone. It's like one more step that they put another step there.
Right. So
for a lot of people.
So I think,
which makes sense.
And now it might be that because a lot of OHL kids go to school afterwards, they go to the NHL from school, and then it's like, well, does the school get the credit or does the CHL get the credit if it's a kid that did both? But up to this point, it's been trending towards most of the NHL players are going to be coming out of the NCAA. So what does that say for a kid who, maybe to your point, they want to be a hockey player in terms of all I'm doing is hockey and I don't want to have to focus on other things. I want to play the most amount of games possible, whatever. It's like, well, what if that's not your best option in terms of actually getting to where you want to be? Obviously not to say like there's always going to be kids that it's not an all or nothing thing, like you have to go to school or whatever. But I'm just saying, if statistically you're most likely to get NHL opportunity or higher level pro opportunities coming out of college, then yeah, it's only 30 games, but you said you want to be a pro, and like this is the best path to go and be a pro.
So like if the New York Rangers tell the kids like, we draft you, and this is what I'm really curious about, right? Because if the New York Rangers, Toronto Maple Leafs, whoever says, okay, we drafted you, or you came to our camp, you can't sign you if you're going to go to college, but they draft you and they say, okay, so what if they direct you and say like, we think that your best avenue is to go to take 2 years of college, and like it's not just recommended, it's highly recommended. In fact, like that should be your path. Like more or less, you can't tell you to go to school, but that's what you need to do. Then it's like, okay, if they're that adamant because that development path is the way for 2 more years or 3 years, then obviously every kid has to, okay, here's my, like a guy that doesn't like school, okay, here's my shit sandwich. I gotta have to wear khakis to school every day, right?
Yeah.
But,
you don't like the khakis, eh?
No, I hate khakis.
And pep rallies.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pep rallies and stuff. So we're gonna have to get up and go to class, and wear, like, gonna have to be a supporter of the school. I'm gonna have to do that for 2 years. So, but if that's the way that they're directing you, then that's obvious. But we'll see if that's actually the way she goes. And I'm not convinced of that yet. And I could be totally wrong, because when you were saying something yesterday about the stats of players, I was just thinking about it. There's more and more players coming out of the college system, and this is very true. So again, I'm not a stats guy, but why is that? Is it because the hockey's that much better? Is it because they developed that much better? Or is the number of players that are playing hockey in the United States going up so high that their natural progression, how they grow up going to college, is what they think about and they see? And now that you have a higher volume of good hockey players, is it that why the percentages are going up in college? Or is it because the programs are so much better? Or because you develop for 2 more years?
So
that's just a question, right?
Well, to cut you off, because I saw the other day too that the majority of the commitments are Canadian kids
this year.
Yeah.
From the 40%. Yeah.
To your point, like it'll be very interesting to see how it all starts.
This is what I'm saying,
out, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's who knows? It's a debate.
Yeah.
And for anybody, because I know whatever clips come out of this, I know there's going to be a clip that comes out that appears like I say, college is stupid, don't go to school. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Stir the controversy.